Moi j'ai you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, friend. I really do hope that. That's right, welcome back to Chelsea News. This, on the day of a new month, I'm wearing a beret. Probably too big for me, but we move. Pochettino's officially Chelsea gaffer today. Who knows, we might have media. I might be uploading at a poor time. I don't care, there's so much to talk about. Matt Law's written an article, not on himself, on Pochettino starting. Hashtag plot twist. Cesar Azpilicueta to Atletico Madrid. Ooh, everyone cried a little bit with the Ruben goodbye videos. And Nicholas Jackson is officially announced by Chelsea. And yes, you all laughed at me for singing the song, but that was their bloody announcement theme. They went, "I'm sorry," on a tweet, and then Nick Jackson, to which they put Outcast music over his announcement video. "I'm sorry, Nick Jackson. Ooh, I am for real." It's barely still. Anyway, we've got lots to get into, so thanks for joining me. If you want to support the content, feel free to by clicking like, subscribe, and commenting. I do like reading the comments. You guys, you do some good comments, so pat yourselves on the back for that. And let's get into it. So yes, we will shed a tear in the Ruben goodbye videos. It got us, well, I don't want to speak for all of us, but it got many viscerally, in the gut, emotionally, more than perhaps we thought we would be sad. He's been there forever. He's been through, because unlike, you know, for example, Mason Mount, Mason Mount's obviously been a massive contributor to recent success, but Ruben's been here for longer. You know, he's been like Chelsea's favourite son, the trailblazer after John Terry of an academy boy who made it into the first team and was a bit unlucky with Mourinho not maybe being so supportive, mega unlucky with the Achilles injury just as he was looking very special. But then he came back and he was utilised by different managers in different positions and became this like utility man. But he never moaned. He always made himself available, and he's just a top boy, and we all love him. So thank you, Ruben. I think many of us will be watching his developments, his movements. Hold on, his game development in Milan. Oh God, I'm malfunctioning. So yeah, cheers, Ruben. Yeah, Nicholas Jackson. What can we say? Great to see a striker at Chelsea. He speaks magnificent English, flawless English, really impressive. You know, just yeah, I didn't expect him to. You know, so it's got to be like speak 3 languages at least. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. I mean, I know it's the global language and whatever, and I, as an Englishman, feel rather ashamed. Most of us don't speak other languages. Although je parle un peu de français, et je pense ça c'est pas mal, hein? Nick Jackson. So I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm sure there will be more media on him coming out. He will play as a striker at Chelsea. And probably the starting striker. That's probably right. I don't know, like a year ago, if someone said to him, "You're going to sign for Chelsea and be the starting striker," he probably won't believe his luck. Like Champions League, recent winning Chelsea, in the Champions League now, buying all these players, you know, spend 100 million on a striker. What, I'm going to be starting for them as a centre forward? I mean, hold on, pause. This isn't 100% yet. I am getting ahead of myself because Chelsea may still buy a striker. Considering we've made all this money in sales, we are safe and warm in the realms of financial fair play. But yeah, we might still buy a striker. But regardless, he's still probably stoked he's playing for Chelsea. Signed an 8, wait for it. 9.5-year deal? Is that right? He's 21, so yeah. I think it's that. Maybe I'm wrong, but still, life sentence. Right, before we read on Matt Law's article on the Telegraph, yeah, plot twist. It looks like Cesar Azpilicueta was going to go to Inter. Maybe, yeah, but he's going to Madrid, bro. Let's have a read what Nazar Kinsella is writing. Chelsea captain Cesar Azpilicueta is in advanced talks for Atletico Madrid to sign for them, rather. The summer transfer window so far has seen multiple senior players depart from Stamford Bridge in a wide-reaching clear-out before Pochettino takes charge on Monday. But of course, is officially Chelsea manager now. Among the next to leave is Spanish defender Cesar Azpilicueta after they strike a deal with Atleti. I thought there's no deal. I thought we were just tearing up his contract. Chelsea are happy to sanction a move either for a nominal fee or as a free transfer. There you go. The 33-year-old signing a 2-year contract last summer. Azpilicueta's agreement to stay 12 months came at a time when the West Londoners were struggling for numbers in central defence, and also saw him turn down a move to Barcelona in his homeland. Yeah. All our other players went to Barcelona instead. It was previously recognised between the player, then director Marina Granovskaya, and then Roman Abramovich that he would be allowed to leave at the moment of his choosing should he receive a satisfactory offer. As thanks for his years for service as a club. Of course, what a servant. £7 million from Marseille we paid, and he spent 7 or 8 years, over 500 appearances, won every single trophy available, including wearing the captain's armband for a Champions League win, which is an incredible feat. We've made loads and loads of money this transfer window. We said goodbye to Ruben. We'll say goodbye to Cesar. I mean, it makes sense to him. He probably did have this opportunity to go to Inter Milan, but, as great as an opportunity that is, he wants to go back to his homeland, Spain, with his family. Madrid, there's worse places to be in the world, let me tell you. And they're a big club, Atleti, and they like the older player, and I think he'd get respected there. And it's just a great opportunity for him to go and play for presumably 2 years. So thank you, Cesar. I'm sure when his move is made, public by the club, that we'll all get teary-eyed. In the same way many of us did with Ruben. But yes, Cesar, what a servant, man. Incroyable. Thank you, Capitan. So, like I said, Chelsea are no longer rudderless. We've made loads of money. We've cleared Deadwood. Excuse me. Not that I think Cesar is Deadwood, but we have cleared Deadwood, and we've shrunk the squad, and we are on a regenerative phase. We've got a new manager. It's official. Chelsea have a gaffer in Pochettino. We spoke a little bit on yesterday's video about what he will bring from an article from the Mirror. I'm very interested to read what Matt Law has written today, published an article, because Matt Law is very well connected with the Pochettino ting, because of course, not only does he cover Chelsea for a long time, he's covered Tottenham Hotspur, and has connections regarding Spurs, so therefore, he has got the lowdown on Big Poch. Chelsea players may be in for a surprise when they return for the first preseason game under Pochettino. Excuse me. I've quit vaping, which is good. So I've the last couple of weeks I've been clearing my throat a lot. The lungs are clearing out, regenerative, born again Yannick. We have spoken about this a lot of this content, but I want to reiterate it. Pochettino starts work training on Monday. It's 2 days from now, with the players returning from Tuesday. So yeah, he comes in, has a look around for one day. Yeah, this is Chelsea. The next day the players come. Depending on the extent of the international football they have played, of course. At least all of Pochettino's first-team players should now fit into one changing room after the club correctly decided to clear out the squad. Rather than installing more lockers, this was the wisest way. Well, heck yeah. Those who have done their homework on Pochettino will be braced for the preparation that Kyle Walker once described as being, quote, horrible. When he was at Tottenham Hotspur. Raheem Sterling tried to make an early impression this week by posting, Sterling all the last couple of weeks, he's been on it. He's been doing different training camps. This dude is on it. And yeah, I like that when players go, right, we're in for a grueling pre-season. I'm going to get ahead of the game and make sure I'm in scintillatingly, searingly hot shape. Running, and more running is what many of the Chelsea players will expect. And yet, for the first fortnight before the squad fly out to the United States for their pre-season tour, Pochettino's new players may clock up very few kilometres. Pochettino's assistant, Jesus Perez, who is a fitness and conditioning specialist and is described as being, quote, a genius. Many of those who've worked with him has been spent the past month studying and analysing all the available data on Chelsea players. Good. Now look, this is right. We're a multi-billion-pound enterprise, Chelsea. You forget the amount of detail that goes into all these big Premier League clubs. But it is comforting to know that the genius fitness specialist has been analysing the Chelsea players all this time and is ready, right, Sterling does this, freaking Bria does this, Enzo does this, Mudryk does this, Noni does this. Sounds like a song. No, 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 no. And he knows how to, apply what, which is really great. I love to hear it. I'm sure you do too. Perez will have found that the numbers indicate Chelsea are in no condition to be told to run before they can walk, and he is likely to put the focus on building up players' strength for the first 2 weeks of pre-season. Yeah, because they're all, apart from maybe the aforementioned Raheem Sterling, they're all hella out of shape, bro. This is not to say life will be easy at the beginning of the Pochettino era, but it may be different to what players in the old clubs have warned to be horrible. The running could come later, basically, the horrible running. When Perez can be more confident, it will not result in breakdown. Well, yeah, we need to just, not have breakdown and burnout. That's hugely important. There will be recognition that too much too soon could result in a number of injuries, and boy howdy, Chelsea have had a lot of injuries last season. The Pochettino and Perez are expected to tailor their approaches accordingly, perhaps mindful that the tour in the US is longer than would be ideal. And we need to be mindful as well that the last US tour was a freaking disaster. Chelsea's squad were plagued by fitness issues last season, and Lampard was shocked by the levels of the players he inherited when he took over as interim head coach. Yeah, surely Potter was shocked as well, but Frank came in, and, Frank's of a different generation, but he understands players need to be fit, and he's like, what the heck is this, boys? Just as he was disappointed when one player was overheard questioning why they were asked to do extra running. Because you're all fat and lazy, you silly sods. Graham Potter took over a team who complained to him that the last pre-season had been one of their worst of their careers, and they simply had not prepared properly for the campaign. Yes, like I just said. He also had to deal with a fallout from Chelsea's last owners sacking one of the club's long-standing medical staff. Yeah, it's interesting that. Well, I'm not going to read all of this. I do want to read a little bit here on the cultivating a culture, because this is really important, something that Matt's written about before. While building fitness will be largely the responsibility of Perez, Pochettino must immediately start to cultivate a culture, and those who have worked with the Argentine believe this is one of his biggest qualities. Praise the Lord. I want to hear about this. We got a bunch of non-fit, lazy Chelsea players. Bang, bringing the genius to rip them apart. I endorse this. We've lacking culture, and largely to our own fault have sold away a lot of our Chelsea DNA. We need to rebuild a culture. Who knew that the cruel twist of fate, the ironic twist that we bring in the Tottenham man to rebuild the Chelsea culture. Handshakes and hugs will quickly become commonplace at Cobham, and Pochettino likes to take a personal interest in each of his players and members of staff of the club. Those who work in the training ground canteen are likely to be asked about how their children are as big money signings. Lovely. That just sounds like he's just a nice dude. Don't be a knobhead. Simple. Anyone who shows disrespect to another member of staff can expect to read the riot act by Pochettino, while the 51-year-old will demand high standards for his squad, as well as from them, as well as Chelsea hope he likes the hotels of club. I can't read. Basically, be respectful. During the pre-season trip to the United States with Tottenham, Pochettino and his team stayed in Nashville, which he proved to be a highlight of the tour for the staff and members who were able to go out and enjoy themselves in the city. Yeah, because no one in Nashville is knowing who likely are Premier League players, let alone who are Tottenham Hotspur players. Lol, I jest, but kind of serious at the same time. But those who were privy to Pochettino's complaints regarding the building work that was going on nearby and some of the facilities remember it rather differently. Maybe he just got angry. Right, and finally, Boehly and Igbali, the Chelsea owners, must tread the fine line between engagement and interference. Yeah, because everyone wants the owners to be involved to a degree. Chelsea's co-controlling owners, Boehly and Igbali, made regular trips to Cobham to watch training last season, and the players were upset when Boehly addressed the squad in the dressing room after a defeat to Brighton, where he labelled Chelsea's plight as embarrassing. Yeah, but maybe it was the wrong thing to do, but I get it, he's probably thinking, what the hell are you doing? Yes, it's partly his fault. But it's, have some professional pride. Hindsight dictates it was the wrong thing to do, but I do have some sympathy for him. You know, he's the owner, and he's like, that does happen. Owners go into dressing rooms and say, you're all a bunch of so-and-sos. There's a fine line between engagement and interference that Bowley and Iqbali will have to tread carefully. And it's, you know, they'll have to learn. While what has previously been a desire to hold daily debriefs with their Chelsea coaches may need to be tempered. Yes. Although we got less games this season, of course, we're not in Europe, so there's more time to sort of, I don't know, communicate, you know, decompress and whatever. Pochettino places huge importance on positive energy. Yeah, he's a positive energy dude. Something that has been sadly lacking in Chelsea the past year. Oh, yes. Good. Officially today we have a new manager. And he will build a culture. The genius Perez will have to start kicking some butt of these lazy-ass players. And yeah, we've got a new striker. The captain's going, the times they are changing. Come Pochettino Perez, please heed the call. We're unfit with no culture in the dressing room at all. Come on. It's good, isn't it? I could carry on, but I'll spare you. Let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me. Please do consider interactions and see what hat I'll be wearing next time. Find out by hitting the bell when you subscribe. See you very soon. Ciao.